Should just like make a trip to Manchester, make sure they're here instead.
What?
So I'm ordering Crocs for her, right?
Okay.
And it says it'll be here between the 13th and the 19th. Are we recording already? Can you hear me? Should I order it and hope that it's here on time, or should I just like make sure I make a trip to Manchester and pick them up? The 16th, Friday.
I don't know if you're not worried about it. We'll just pick them up in person.
Yeah, but I also don't know where to go. And I don't know if I'll have time. It's like, when am I going to go?
Isn't there a whole Croc store in the mall?
In Merrimack.
Okay, so looks like you're going to Merrimack then.
When the fuck am I going to go to Merrimack?
I don't know. Anytime.
It's far.
That's life.
Well, I could go to like, it's hot down here.
It's always
I
hot.
should wear a t-shirt. I could go to like Manchester, like not Foot Locker, the freaking Famous Footwear, whatever. There's a Famous Footwear in Tilton. Have Mom pick them up. But yeah, I'm not gonna order it.
I don't know.
Hey,
I don't know where they'd be. I don't know.
you know what? We're gonna risk it for the biscuit. They're so much cheaper on Amazon. Huh?
What's that?
The Crocs.
Are they real though?
Yeah, that's where I got my Crocs.
Isn't their whole thing fake though?
No.
Oh.
What are you talking about? No, they sell like brand, like you can buy like these real Air Force Jordan 1s that Josh got customized. How much were these? Like $900. That's right.
They were like
These
$80.
Okay, it was a joke. I was trying to make you look good there.
No, they're not that expensive. Nope.
All right, I'm just gonna. Mother, should I order these?
When are they gonna be here by?
It says between the 15th and the 19th.
When do you need them back?
The 16th.
Can't you do like next day?
No, it doesn't give me that option. It gives me 3 options. Hold on. This is a real cold open. So it gives me free shipping, which is September 15th to September 19th. And then it gives me $6 shipping, which is the 13th through the 19th. And then $12 shipping, which is 12th to the 19th.
I'd just go to the mall. If you're really that worried about it.
Yep, we're going to risk it for the biscuit. I just got to place this order for the other stuff. I really shouldn't have put this off. I really hope this works out.
Doesn't she have some?
Yeah, the whole point is that they're like freaking beat. Time for a pair of new ones. Is he even gonna make me put my card in? Okay. I don't know who paid for that.
Speaking of new ones, there's a new person in charge.
Of England? Is that what you're talking about?
The old hack died.
I don't know.
What?
I had a real connection with her.
Well, it looks like you're canceled because everyone's really heating her.
Wait, what?
Everyone's really attacking her.
What do you mean?
I don't know. Everyone's saying she's a real bitch and
Oh yeah, isn't she like she's
in hell?
Well, she's fucking 96 years old. Dude, when she was born, what was going on? What was happening when she was born?
well, she's what, 96? Hold on, 2022 minus 96. 1926 is when she was born.
What was going on in 1926?
I'm sure not everyone had rights.
I'm sure nobody had rights. What happened in 1926? Major news. The Great Miami Hurricane. Didn't know that. Winnie the Pooh is published. Ford Motor Company announces the creation of a 40-hour work week.
Jeez. What
Yeah,
a bunch of dicks,
fuck you, Henry Ford.
Wow.
I mean, you did create the Model T, and
Yeah,
you're the
but they
reason
needed-
Josh is employed right now.
But they needed so much manpower, they're like, geez, guys, I think we gotta hop it up.
Yeah, dude, what happened in 1920? Did anything happen in 1926?
She was born.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I saw Twitter and everyone was like, Harry's getting a phone call from his grandmother about how hot it is. and like stuff like that. It was like, oh, I didn't. And then like people are posting like,
That's kind of fucked up.
finally, there's like everyone's saluting and saying prayers to someone who enslaved, and I don't know, all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, I mean, if I lived another 70 years, I'm sure some stuff I do 5 years ago isn't going to be looked at very well.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Tale of Times is okay, but
think about it like there's shit that comedians have gotten in trouble for saying 10 years ago.
yeah.
Like,
I mean,
and now she's fucking 96 years old.
Yeah, I mean,
and
Kevin,
you think when she was 15, she wasn't slapping some like homeless people?
I'm
That's
sure,
definitely what she was doing.
she's never seen them.
Yeah, that's true.
You
She
don't
probably
leave the
never freaking
castle.
left the castle.
You don't leave the castle.
No, she doesn't leave the castle. I heard it looks like they have an actual castle, right?
I'm sure they have a few.
They have a few. Where do you think she vacations? Where do you think like?
I'm sure she doesn't. I'm sure they walk her into another room and say, "You're in the Bahamas," and she's like,
Well, someone at work was telling me like, oh, I remember when her dad died and she was on her honeymoon in Africa. I was like, you think she went to fucking Africa?
"Yeah, I'm sure she did."
I absolutely doubt she went to Africa.
What are those?
Not good.
She's like, those are non-wealthy people. She's like, wow.
So, do you think there was air conditioning when she was born?
Sure, it wasn't.
I
I'm
bet
sure
she
there's
lived
a
in
lot of things.
She probably lived in a time,
If we didn't have 40-hour work weeks, I'm sure we didn't have central air.
dude. So all of her actions were excused. That's how I look at it.
I don't know.
I
think you got to go by like a time period. Like I think if you get to like the 80s, I think you have to be like, I think you got to check yourself.
You gotta check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Oh,
What do you think it's like? Like, she grew, like, her problems are so different than ours. Like, she's dead now.
I don't think she had too many problems.
What do you think is, like, the worst, other than, like, oh, we lost America? What do you think was, like, her worst problem?
I think it was her grandson leaving the family.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, kind of really shot a shot at the family.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember who the wife is, but like, what imagine like, I mean, she was probably like 17 when she was like, I want to be an actress, and then like little did she know, all of a sudden she's gonna be part of the royal family, like 15 years later.
It's like the Kardashians. It's like the OG Kardashians.
Yeah, I mean, imagine like when Kim and whatever one is like 6 and don't know in like 3 years their life is going to be constantly on camera.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what that's like though? Like when you break down like
that you're always on camera?
Well, like no, the Kardashians or like
T.I. and Tiny Family.
Yeah, kind of. And then like LaMelo Ball.
Oh,
LaMelo Ball is like,
you get fucked up from
as
that.
a freshman or like the YouTube families.
But he was, but like LaMelo was made for that. He was made for the spotlight. Like he was raised to be the fucking guy. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's where you see like, I'm trying to think of like an example of people that like Manziel. He wasn't ready to be in the spotlight. Like he loved the spotlight, but he didn't know how to handle it.
No. But I mean, I just meant like I know like you and a friend of ours was like a huge fan of like the Ace family.
No, that was
I had no idea who they were. Literally, maybe up until
he loved that
this year, and I like it somehow came onto like my feed.
I think he's actually fighting tonight.
I think so, but it was it was one of those accounts that talks like shit about them. Mm-hmm. And then I actually like I watched it because I was like, oh, like I knew he was a fan of them, like, and it was some crazy headline. And then I started watching, and now like I follow the like people who
the hate page.
Yeah, because it's like it's actually crazy. Like they've actually done fraud. Like they were actually threatened to murder somebody. Like
I wish we could get a hate page.
Their stuff
that would be
is
so much fun.
Crazy. But like they have like 3 kids. Again, I don't watch it, so I could be completely wrong. I'm just following like.
I only remember this from when X was like, "Dude, it's so hype."
Yeah, But it's like they have 3 kids, but they're like all younger than like 5. So it's like,
Mhm.
imagine in 10 years when like the oldest is maybe just like 15, 16.
Mhm.
Like your entire life has been online.
Mhm.
Without your choice.
Yeah.
And to like that's going to be so much drama. Like there's going to be a lot of like
Well, you want to know who? I don't know. Do you know who Roman Atwood is?
mm-mm.
He
I've heard the name.
he was one of the
if he
big.
walked in,
He was like one of the
I'd
big.
just be like, "Why are you in
he's-
my house?"
Like he was one of like the pioneers, like the YouTube prank stuff, and then he kind of just slowly molded in and started doing the daily vlogs with his family. He did it right, and like he just started a podcast, and I was listening to an episode he did with his oldest son, who was like 5 or 6 when they started vlogging, and he was literally like the first thing that you like when the first vlog opens, it was him, and they talked about like how because they were
How
like
old is he now?
the son's like 17.
The fuck? Am I bleeding? It
You're
was like
bleeding. Do you need a tampon?
no, I don't know what that was.
You good? Is it the red stuff from the Coke?
Yeah, my Coke is wiping off. The Coke on my glass is wiping off. That's crazy. I've been so into cherry vanilla Coke lately.
I've been very good.
I've been hammering them down.
I know. I've noticed there's like 3. Like literally went to grab one the other day. I was like, oh, I want, because I saw one the day before. I was like, I kind of want one now. So I went back and it was gone. The whole case.
They're in the fridge. And
Yeah.
those
this
are
is like a week and a half ago. That first case that you drank in like a day and a half.
It wasn't that quick.
It was quick as shit. It was the one that wasn't sugar free. I remember that.
Yeah, Maddie got sugar free.
She cares about you.
That's for her. I don't drink it.
You're not drinking the sugar free.
I like sugar and stuff. I like sugar in my things.
Joshy's got a sugar tooth. Hold on. Last night we went to Five Guys.
Mm-hmm.
And just like an hour ago, I was like, Josh, I'm going to shower and then do you want to film? You're like, yeah. So I walk in the bathroom. There's your Five Guys cup is in the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
What did you go through last night?
I put it in there this morning because I didn't want Braxton to knock it down, and there was still some old like Coke in it. I didn't want it to spill and like.
But was that the same Five Guys cup from the night before?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it was. It
I
just
really
moved.
thought that maybe you just
Brought it in there.
You know what? I'm going to take 20 minutes, relax in the bathroom, drop a deuce, and enjoy my Five Guys Coke.
No.
That
no.
definitely seems like something you would do. How many times have you eaten in the bathroom?
I haven't. Why would you do that?
'Cause I feel like that's something you would do.
Mm-mm. No, but what were you saying about this guy and his son?
Yeah.
How old is his son now?
17. I just watched the interview with him, and he was talking about because they were a split family, and so like a few years into them podcast or vlogging, they got like some kind of custody situation. He wasn't allowed in the vlogs, and it's just like, and he talks about how he was like grateful to like have that, like to grow up on the vlog, like because his whole life is like he can show his kids what he was living, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I guess.
And like, because that's the way like I was think about like photo albums. I'm right at that stage where I don't have photo albums.
No.
I just have scattered pictures.
Yeah.
You have photo albums.
Well, we don't know where they are, but yeah.
Yep, but there's photo albums.
Yeah, there's photos of me, but I don't know. I mean, I think that's not an accurate representation of probably how he lives. Like, if you take away the cameras and the whole, we're trying to find something entertaining about this kid's day, I'm sure it would be much different than, like, his parents or someone following him with a camera.
Well, the whole thing wasn't
Like,
geared towards them following that kid. It was like what they do in a day, and like
But that's what I mean, though, is, like, I'm sure their day isn't as accurate as it would have been.
yeah, that's kind of what they talked about too. Is they were like, he
'Cause
would
I'm
wake
sure
up
they're-
some days and there would just be monster trucks in the yard, and he was like, "Oh, Dad's filming a video,"
Yeah,
and that
that's
was
what
just
I'm saying.
normal for them.
But that's what I'm saying.
And like
is-
each day you got to top it.
But like you also saw, the hate page I saw, one of his things was whatever Ace Family released once accidentally posted a video.
Oh, was it like him smacking the kid?
No, it was like the two of them, like they were trying to, like, I think film an intro, and they were like, yeah, so today was a really good day or whatever, and then you could hear the kid crying, and they both go, yeah.
It's
And
they're
then
like
like
props.
I think she said something, or she was just like, "Are you kidding me?" Whatever, or something like that. And then they're like, "All right, let's go again." Like, and then you could see them literally just redo what they just said. So like, I mean, obviously, like the whole thing isn't just like one take and all that, but it's like to see how, for them to accidentally show how rehearsed everything is, and it's just like
it's not perfect.
it's
sunshine and
shady. Yeah,
rainbows,
it's not them like going to the grocery store and be like, "What do you want?" Oh my god, that's so funny. Like, and then people really were just like, "That's your kid crying and you're rolling your eyes about it," but it's also like on the other side, like kids are annoying, so I guess I get it. But
I don't know if I could like that. Seems I wouldn't want that at all. Absolutely not.
no, it sounds pretty terrible, but you don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
It's like what's
Like,
her name? She was on iCarly.
Miranda Cosgrove,
No, the other one.
Jeanette McCurdy.
Jeanette McCurdy. She's just now coming out, and like actually,
Her
like
situation's a lot different.
yeah, I know, but that
She's
no.
horrible.
No. It is the same because she didn't want to be an actress. Her mom kind of made her do it and kept her into it, and then controlled all of her money.
Yeah.
It's the same with like all those family accounts, and then like that kid who blows up for doing Ryan's toy reviews.
Oh my god.
Like that kid probably doesn't get any of the money, and they've like I think people have broken down like how much money they get from sponsorship, how much this and that, like toy revenue, this and that kind of stuff. But it's like how many dark stories are about to come out, because like before it was like you were getting the pageant stories of like pageant kids, dance kids, actor kids, Jeanette McCurdy, and like next up is these YouTube family.
That's a
You
good
know,
point.
social media
I never
families.
really put those two things together.
Yeah,
like
it's
that's
the same
situation.
thing. It's just all of us in the next. If anything, it's worse because
Because there's no
like
regulation around it.
for like I mean, Jeanette obviously went through like awful crazy shit, but like people also even if you don't follow her, like you see her on iCarly and you go, oh, she was just an actress who isn't acting anymore. Where like you're able to separate. You're like, oh, she's not Sam from iCarly. She's Jeanette McCurdy, and that was just a character she played. Where, like,
And that's the thing is like
the Ace Family kids, like, that's who they are. So in like 5 years, if like they want to, I mean, like kids say crazy things. So at times, if they're like, oh, this is fun, because like, how funny is it when a kid swears? Like, if they put that out there in like 10 years, whatever, like when maybe they try and have a real life, they're fucked. Because people are going to be like, no, that was you. Like, you're filmed.
Yeah.
I think it's way worse, way more damaging. But I don't know. Not my kid.
It's not regulated either. Like when you're an actor as a child, like you still have to go to school. Like there's laws around it.
Yeah.
Like you have to have a certain amount of time like doing your homeschool. You have like a tutor. Like, and with that, like you don't know. And I'm not saying like there's definitely some I'm sure there's good family channels out there where it is pretty natural and they do take good care of their kids, but I feel like there's a handful where it's just like really taking advantage of like a situation.
I don't know. I'm sure it's not great, but
I'm sure there's a couple out there that are all right.
I don't know.
You don't? Out of like the hundreds of thousands of family YouTube channels.
I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. I'm sure there's not great intent.
Oh, I'm sure there's some with good intent.
What's the good intent though?
Make a living.
Yeah, I get that, but it's I don't know. I don't know if I could like morally be like, let's record this kid, and hopefully it becomes good. I don't know.
I think the Ryan's toy. I don't know much about it, but I feel like that's just kind of like.
I don't know. I
That's
mean,
weird.
that kid. It's been quite a few years. How old could that kid be?
I think he's like 5. I think
He's definitely not 5 now.
he's definitely 5.
He's definitely like a teenager right now.
No,
Yeah.
no. He's like Nicholas's age at least.
No, he was like Nicholas's age now, when he was doing it.
Is he still doing toy reviews?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Imagine just watching like a 20-year-old kid. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm gonna play with slime.
Well, that's what I mean. Oh, he's still doing it. He had a new video 15 hours ago. Reacts to Combo Panda's new intro.
Combo Panda.
Yeah.
What the fuck's...
He was pretty old, though.
They don't make good fucking TV shows either.
Well, that's the issue, is, like, there's just so much content out there.
Yeah, and nobody watches cable anymore. Like, kids don't. They watch YouTube.
I mean, I'm not going to put everyone in a bubble, but... I don't know. I'm sure it's going to change. I mean...
You need to go back to cable?
No, but I mean, it's the same... It's just rehashed the same thing, but it's just reworded. Like, 10 years ago, it was being said, like, all kids do is watch TV. They don't go out and play.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure before that, it was like, all kids do is go outside and play. They don't work. You know? Where right now, it's like, all kids do is watch YouTube.
What's it going to be after that?
I don't know. All kids do is masturbate to robots. We're getting there.
That's weird.
Yeah, and then when you think about it, like, it's such a small little thing, but where, like, I had someone send me this thing today, and it was, like, showing the different levels of a black hole and different things that it does, and it's, like, 5 levels, and I can't remember them, but the very last one is, they said, oh, well, there's either two things. You either get crushed because of the lack of just like gravity, space, and all this. You just get crushed, or you get teleported somewhere. I was like, what a bananas thing of us to be like.
It just brings you somewhere else.
You either get crushed, or I don't know, you go somewhere.
Heaven.
Like it's a kid's thing of like what happens to a toilet.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't know, it's either gone forever or it went somewhere. Like, but we know so little. We know so little about things, and we're just like, what's on YouTube?
I don't think it goes anywhere. I think it just destroys the matter. Like, I don't think it crushes. Black holes rip it apart.
I don't know. But could you imagine if we just, like, actually had all of our
We should just send someone in a black hole. I don't know why
how would we get them back?
We don't.
Okay, so how would we find out what happened to them?
If they go somewhere else and they just come back.
That's not how that works, though. We don't know that.
Send a walkie-talkie. Send something.
I don't know.
We have, like, even if we don't find out, what if we just send 100 people through a black hole?
Okay, and you just sent 100. That's it. That's all that happened, is now there's 100 less people.
Yes, but if they are going somewhere, eventually they get somewhere, start a colony, whatever.
You're just starting them from scratch.
Yeah, and then eventually they'll grow, and then we'll meet up. I don't know.
By the time they even get close to, like, being able to travel, we would probably be able to travel there on our own.
So, let's just get rid of 100 people. Let's just send 100 people in.
We already did that. That's a whole
We didn't
pandemic.
send anybody through fucking...
That's what a whole pandemic is. Just get rid of people.
Get rid of people.
Yeah.
I think Elon Musk posted a thing where he's like, we don't have enough babies or something like that. I was like, what?
I don't think we have enough food for the babies.
We have way too many people.
Well, but see, that's the thing, though, is like...
Purge is coming.
No, is we don't have, like, enough smart people anymore. We have smart people, but they're just not doing anything.
They're just podcasting in their dad's basement.
No, is what they're doing is, like, fighting over computers and microchips and cars. Like, could you imagine if Steve Jobs, like...
Oh, he'd be a real donkey brain.
Elon Musk, like... I don't know, all the actual smart people who are just, like, trying to reinvent something cheaper.
Mm-hmm. That just turned on.
Yeah, that's weird. Must have been all the ghost Carlos summoned up.
Oh, Jesus Christ, squad.
I couldn't imagine.
Do you think that's real?
Her seeing ghosts?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah.
Oh, and do you think they're like... So, like, if I died, everybody becomes a ghost. What makes you become a ghost?
I think it's probably statistically, yeah. I mean...
And so...
No, I don't know, actually.
If there's... How many people died?
But see,
Billions.
know what the oldest thing the most common thing I hear is, if just one is true, then every story has legitimacy. It's like the thing with aliens. Like, not all of them need to be true for it to be real.
Yeah.
Just one.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. Out of the trillions of stories of ghosts and aliens and all that, like, if just one's true, then, like, that's it.
Yeah.
It's real. That's all it takes is one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, like, it's hard to argue against it. Like, I was, like, 9 being like, well, there's got to be aliens. Why would so many stories and so many people, like, just make this up?
I hope there's aliens.
Well, there is. Our government literally admitted it.
I know. Oh, but I hope, like, they're fucking badass and they come and just, like, squash us. Like, we're getting too cocky out here. Thinking we're top dog. No?
Andrew Tate? Well, he's top G.
He's top G.
Yeah, he's top G.
Does he have a speech impediment? What is that?
I don't know, but that poor guy, like, I kind of feel bad.
Is he an actor or is that, like, legit where he's like, dude,
No.
women are...
No, it's a whole thing.
That's a real thing?
No, I mean, I think it's like a zoned up thing.
It's a character he's playing?
Yeah.
I hope so, because, like...
But like, think about this guy's life right now. Like, I mean, obviously, if he actually did something, I'm not condoning. But, like...
Didn't he, like, traffic someone?
That's allegedly. But, like, think about this dude's life, like... Because the first time I saw him was on Tom Segura and Christina P's podcast. And, like, that was 2-3 years ago. And they found his clip of, like, just doing something crazy. Just saying some crazy stuff. And then, like, that was nonstop put. And then, like, for whatever reason, the last couple months, all of a sudden he took off.
Well, he went on the Nelk Boys.
Yes, but they probably wouldn't have heard of him if it wasn't for them.
Yeah.
So, like, all out of nowhere, all of a sudden, this dude became even more of a public figure. Because, I mean, he was already, like, a world champion in MMA. Like,
yeah, he's a kickboxer.
Martial arts or whatever. But, like, he's so big where, like, YouTube and Insta are like...
They just kicked him off.
We're good.
Too, right?
He's off.
That's scary.
That's what I mean, though. It's like, you can just get that big and, like...
Yeah.
Be exiled. Like, this, no matter what he does, like, he can't go work at Target. You're never going to see him in a red polo somewhere with the bullseye. Like, he won't be there. No matter what. Even if he's just like, hey, that was a mistake. Or even if he's just like...
I don't know. I think Wendy's would hire him right
goes off grid for 5 years. Like, he could never just go be a realtor. Like, no one's gonna... Well, I mean, he could do something like that, maybe, because...
His name.
Yeah, someone would go buy a house from Top G, but... The Top G, but...
Top G Cribs.
But, like, small... Like, he's never gonna be at the drive-through window.
Yeah, dude, do you think we went to Burger King today, and it took a half hour, because one guy was taking orders, cashing out, and baking the food.
Yeah, but that guy also isn't known by, like, the world.
You don't know that. You know...
I'm positive.
Hey, you know his name, not his story. All right?
No, I didn't know his name.
I didn't either.
So there you go.
I didn't look at his name tag.
I didn't know him. And so, like, you would never see him there. Like, a place would never take on a name like that and be like, it's not worth it.
Hungry for more.
For more what?
That's what the guy's t-shirt said.
Oh, the guy who, like, knocked on the window? Yeah. What a guy, you know.
Like, the fact that he went through the drive-thru before, as we're at the window, he drives...
He wasn't even the last one there.
No, he had to have been a few cars before.
He was.
And he pulls up and kind of, like, nonchalant jogs to, like... I thought he was coming to talk to me at first. Like, what the fuck does this guy want? And he's like, sorry. Taps on the Burger King window. Can I get 2 packs of mayo?
Yeah.
You don't need mayo that
They also messed up the order, too.
Did they?
Yeah.
What did they mess up?
Completely swapped.
On your sandwiches?
Me and Mom's, yeah. Completely.
That's why I got Chipotle.
I was just like, cool. And then I, like, even ate it, and I was just like, that's not even, like...
Oh, so, like, because you got just cheese, and she got, like, no onions.
She got everything. She got 1 patty, and if, like, everything on it but onions. And I got 2 with just cheese. So I ended up getting 1 plain burger with... I don't even think there was cheese on it. And then she got 2 with everything on it. All she had to do was take off onions. I was like, I got fucking gypped. I waited an hour for this to not get anything I wanted.
And she got onion rings.
And she got onion rings. Yeah. And then and fries. And then had the audacity to be like,
They messed up.
I thought there were other fries. She's like, were there other fries?
There's other fries? What does that mean?
I think she wanted
like an additional fry on top of that?
Yeah, looking back on it.
She doesn't even eat that. Like she didn't. That went to Mocha. She ended up putting that on the floor.
I think what she meant was
get fries for Mocha.
Oh, I do see what she meant now. She said large Whopper meal with cheese, no onions, a Coke for a drink, large onion ring, large fry. But I read that as like, oh, that's her order. Is the Whopper meal, and then
So
saying
she
like, I want a
two
Coke.
orders of fries in an order.
Yes, I didn't know. I didn't realize.
Oh, it was
that.
one for Dad.
Yes,
Okay.
but I didn't realize that. So
For someone that eats that much, I'm surprised he doesn't eat like fast food.
he doesn't eat that much. I mean, I'm sure he used to.
Oh yeah.
He used to be very unhealthy.
He still is unhealthy, dude.
Not that much.
Have you seen what he eats?
Yeah, but he exercises every day, so
That doesn't make it any better. It's just offsetting.
helps.
I guarantee you he's eating close to as many calories as The Rock.
Not even.
The Rock's eating like 6,000 calories.
That's probably. I don't even think that's accurate.
Yes, it is.
I don't think so.
Yeah, if not, it's more.
Probably not.
To
I'm real
maintain
tired
that
him,
kind of
though.
muscle mass, you need at least 6,000.
I'm real tired of him though. Kind of would like him to get
Really?
some
You see him work out with Aaron Donald. Who do you think would win in a fight?
Aaron Donald.
Really?
What has The Rock done?
WWE.
What was that? 25 years ago?
Well, okay, The Rock in his like heyday versus Aaron Donald in his heyday. Just a straight up boxing match.
Aaron Donald.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
because he couldn't make it in the NFL. He couldn't even make it in college.
Playing football doesn't make you a good fighter.
I mean, I've seen Aaron Donald throw guys around during a brawl on the field the handful of times he's done it.
Yeah, but
I've seen Rock jump off of stuff, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a something and 0 record in WWE.
Mm-hmm. But like, you think if
With the advantage of knowing what the guy's going to do to
with
him.
no training, The Rock at his prime, in Aaron
So you
Donald
already
in his
lost
prime,
the argument because you're saying no training.
you
If you're
really-
saying no training, then okay, they can't lift,
No,
they
but
can't do anything.
no, but I feel like the Rock probably just has better like fighting skills.
No, I don't think so.
Really?
He's that guy who just lifts, but like doesn't know what to do with it.
I don't-
Donald knows how to lift and knows what to do with things.
I don't know about that.
I'm 100% sure. I've seen there are grown men who are over 300 pounds who spend their life making sure guys don't get by them, and he throws
Yeah,
them.
he's a people mover. He's a people mover.
He's a bulldozer of people. People live their life to make sure
Stop
someone doesn't get around them, and he does it with ease.
Yeah.
You
And
might
it takes like 3 guys.
You could argue there's no one who's better at getting around somebody.
I don't know. I'm pretty good.
I don't think good enough.
Not good enough. Aaron Donald's. That's one guy. Even if he was like, dude, Cam's so cool, I would not want to be his friend. He's such a wild card. I'm sure he's a nice guy.
No, I feel the exact opposite.
You
You don't
wanna be his
remember
friend?
like 2 years ago or 3 years ago when there's a video surfaced of him like absolutely KOing some kid?
Oh
Because
yeah.
he like talked some shit to his friend and he was like,
I would not want to be his. Dude,
let's
no,
see if you
he's
can
too wild
stop
card.
me from going by you, and he ran through his insides.
Absolutely not. He's too much of a wild card. Like,
He's not.
yes, he
Don't
is.
take him off. You're good.
He's such a wild card.
Not at all.
Dude,
He's
have
a
you seen the
protector.
picture of him holding the 2 Bengals helmets as he's fucking like?
Yeah,
It
because
looks
you
like he's swimming. He's like,
Yeah, because you mess with his boys.
no,
Yeah.
dude, Aaron Donald. I do not.
Just admit you chose the wrong side of that.
I did choose the wrong side.
You're saying, oh, I don't want to be friends with him because he's scary. I was like, well, you should be scared if you're not friends with him.
Yeah. Can't beat him, join him.
Yeah, now You got proven incorrect.
Yeah. I still don't think we would get along. I think he's too disciplined. He'd be like, Cam, want to go on a hike? I'd be like, absolutely.
I don't think he hikes. I don't think you're gonna.
You don't
see
think
him
he's
hiking.
ever? You don't think he hikes?
No, I think he just lifts and.
You don't think he's a nature boy? He's definitely a nature boy. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Want what I'm watching? I'm watching this 9/11 doc. It's really intriguing because it's talking about like all the stuff that you kind of didn't think about. Like they're interviewing a lot of different people that, like, a lot of them are like firefighters, police officers, but they're also interviewing like just random people that survived it.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of them is this cook who is cooking, like works at a restaurant a block or so away. And he goes into the walk-in freezer and he's in there sorting stuff. It's been like an hour. And I don't think you've ever been in a walk-in freezer, but when you're in a walk-in freezer, you can't hear anything outside. So he comes out and it's silent. He's like, what the hell? So he walks out the restaurant and it's empty. And all of a sudden this guy comes running in from outside and he's all bloody. He's like, what is going on? He's like, you need to go outside. What do you mean? Go look. And he goes outside and the building's on fire and all that. And he goes to open the door and there's a freaking arm, just an arm, blocking the door. And he goes out and there's bodies everywhere. It's like, it has all those interviews from just like regular ass people.
I think that's just, though, that guy was really waiting to hold the door for him.
That's not cool. That's not cool. Dad would be mad at you for that one.
Could you think of like a worse day?
Well, in the doc, they talk about the guy that declined his retirement. That was 6 days before, and extended his career another month.
Why? For that?
Yeah, he was like, "Yo, 9/11's coming up. Gotta wait for that." No, like
What?
6 days before 9/11, he was gonna retire, but he was like, "No, I'm gonna work another month." And 6 days later, 9/11 happens.
Who is this guy? Who are you talking?
A firefighter.
Okay, so you saying he had something to do with it?
Yeah,
I don't get
he started it. He did it.
So it was like
Blame on him.
So like, what was your point there? Like shitty luck?
Yeah,
like,
shitty luck. Like the guy was like 6 days post retirement, but he canceled his retirement and waited another month.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of luck is that?
I'm sure there's a few people with worse luck, but yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty
But
shitty.
then it also talks about like the different parts of like what happened during like the evacuation and stuff. Like talks about the people coming down from like the 100th floor and talks about the cloud afterwards and like the cleanup and all that stuff. And it's really interesting because it like you never really think about like what was it like trying to drive through the cloud? What was it like running away as the building's coming down? Like they only ever talk about like what it was like on the planes.
I don't think
in those docks.
I don't think people drove. I think if I was driving,
like the ambulances.
Oh,
yeah,
you meant regular people.
Yeah, and they like, and I didn't realize like how many people got cancer from all the dust and stuff either. Like, a few of the people in the interviews like, they have like the holes in their throat and like.
Yeah, that's the whole argument. It was like they still like go to court and argue for like, because I think it's like the PD and stuff like that, like other people who had something to do with it and like help clean up even afterwards, like have a lot of health issues because of it, and they're like try to like insurance and stuff like that try and deem like that's not the reason. And you're like, huh?
There's so many of us. Like, you were in first grade, right?
Like, I don't know.
You don't remember?
Mm-mm.
Do you remember any of it?
I don't think I was in school. I might have been in like preschool or like kindergarten because I definitely wasn't at school. So it was probably like a half day thing. So I was probably like in kindergarten.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I just remember it being like clearly a pretty down day.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone was celebrating, but
like the only thing I can associate like that is like Boston bombing. Like, that's the closest thing I can think of, like, in my lifetime. And that's obviously still tragic, but, like, not nearly as severe.
Well, I think that one's looked at so different because, like, so few died.
Yeah.
Like, that one's just more of, like, just resilient type of deal, where, like, that's obviously looked at as just, like, a tragedy. But
I can't imagine, like, either of those situations. I would not handle it well. I would not be the guy to be, like, that you'd want to follow.
You don't know.
I know. I would not be. I would not handle it well. I'd be the guy that, like, accidentally runs into it. I don't know.
I think it's all, like, flight and
Fight
whatever.
or flight.
Yeah. We're, like... I don't know. I mean, when I was in high school, I used to always think about, like, if someone was... I used to always
Every
think
day.
about it. Of, like...
Every day.
What would I do right now? What would be my plan?
Yeah.
But, like, you never know. I mean, you could even if you knew it was going to happen, like...
You couldn't...
You don't have a plan once it starts.
We had a teacher...
I don't remember who said it, but it's the whole everyone... I think it was Tyson. Of everyone has a plan until they get punched in the face. It's the same thing. Like,
we had a teacher that was in a school shooting, and where his classroom was, it was right above the entrance to the school, and there's a hangover there. And he was like, if anything ever happens in this situation, we are not waiting in this room. We're breaking this window. We're getting on the roof and jumping into this bush. Because the bush was maybe 6-7 feet high. He was like, I will go first. Or no.
I'm leaving. Listen, none of you get in my way. I'm going first here. I break the window and I go first. And none of you jump until I'm across the street and say clear.
I meant he'll go last. If there's another teacher in the room, he said they'll go first in case, like, to help people get down. And I can't believe I just fucked that up. I feel so bad if you were to ever hear this, because it
was a real prideful moment for him. He was
like
they all walked away knowing I'll fight for their lives, and you just made everyone think like his first thing is like
I'm getting out.
Everyone
of here.
hears pop pop pop, and he just drops the board, drops the marker, and just pushes kids out of the way.
Get the fuck out of the way.
Tumbles onto the awning, dives down.
And then there was another teacher. He was a coach. You know him.
Okay.
You coached with him.
Okay.
And he was always saying, if anything ever happens, and you would grab a hydro flask, you'd be like, this is the best weapon you can get. That's the best. I was like, yeah, come at me, find out.
Yeah.
All right.
Have you ever seen Hulu has a documentary about Sandy Hook? And it's all not even, obviously not all of them. But it's a few of them who also were like either got hit or stuff like that. And they were talking about not only just the shooting, but like mostly what happened to them after. And like one of the guys who survived it and was shot and like all that ended up getting addicted to pills. I can't remember what, so I'm not going to say. But ended up getting addicted to it and went through like really bad addiction, and then came through it, and then made like a career out of it, like talking to people about his issues with the shooting, and then the pills they prescribed all of the kids who went to the school for the mental distress, and then those pills just got them addicted to it, and then like some of them got sick because of it, some just got straight addiction, OD'd, and he made like a career out of speaking and all that about it, and then I think like 2-3 years ago he OD'd.
Oh jeez.
So like the thing it was even talking about, like, yeah, like we were all really proud of him, but like it's there, and like this is another thing no one knows about, that like all of these people, like not only are they already like fighting with depression and always constantly in fear of like just being at work and something happening and like all the PTSD of it, but then like I think it was, they really dove into it of like they like knew how it was
they were just being
for them. Yeah, it was and it was
fix.
like
Quick fix.
But it was like they were over prescribing too, and it's really dark. I can't remember the whole thing, but it was really fucked up to think like, oh my god, like you were already in an awful situation, and they were like, well, here, let's make it worse.
Yeah.
Of
I
awful.
think I remember I was a freshman in 2016, and that's when like every other day on the news there was like school shooting, school shooting, school shooting. And we got a few threats. I think every school got a fucking threat, but like we got a handful of them, and there was one really bad one. And it was like called in WMUR, it was called in the police station, it was left in like the mailbox for the school. The same threat. So like seemed like this person's fucking serious. And they didn't cancel school. They were like, hey, yeah, we're gonna have extra police around the building. You're not gonna cancel school. Like, it's a Friday. This is a Friday, like almost into summer. Just cancel the fucking day. Better safe than sorry, right? And one out of our school, which was like 800, 900 kids, I'm pretty sure, I remember talking to a teacher that I was close with, I think 150 kids were at school that day.
Yeah.
Nobody showed up. And I remember, I was talking to Dad before I left, and he was like, you're going to school? It's like, no, I'm not. Like, yes, you are. It's like, nothing's going to happen. It's like, if I die, it's on you.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to say.
I know. I really, like, imagine if something did happen and they fucking, like, had school. They called it. They're like, we're going to have school. Nothing's going to happen. And then we got shot up.
There's
I feel like that's not something you can play with.
There's another movie. I think it's also on Hulu, maybe. The girl who's in the new Scream, the youngest, the sister who like got attacked in the beginning of the movie. She's the main character, and she's like going into school, and like her sister texted her and was like, "I just got my first period. Like I don't know what to do." So she like goes out into the hallway to like help her or whatever, and then like goes I don't know, to call her or text her or something, and then all of a sudden like you start hearing like the pop 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 and all that, and then there's another girl in the bathroom, and then all of a sudden they're like both like, oh my god, like what the fuck, and then just waiting it out, and you can like hear it get closer and closer, and then all of a sudden like the door opens, and you're like, oh fuck, like, and obviously they're scared shitless, and all of a sudden some kid all bloodied up runs in, and he's just like crying, and they're like hiding there, and his brother died and all that, like his twin brother or whatever, and then the whole movie's just like the bond that created that, the three of them, and then like what the turmoil and like mental stuff of how that affected.
That's so fucked.
It's a very good movie. Like it's well done. It's not like just like a grab out of like, look at this tragedy. It's more of like this. It's literally maybe like 5-7 minutes maybe of the whole thing. The rest of the thing is like
Recovery.
the bond, the mental thing of it, and
I think I might have seen that. Now I'm thinking about it. Does she like whatever? But I can't. I'm like I said with like the Boston bombing night. Like I can't imagine that. Like I remember at school we had to like debate once in one of our classes like whether or not teachers should have to go through those trainings where like the police go through the building with like the blank shots and they just fire them off, and because it sounds like have you heard this before?
yes, actually I do, of like they thought it was a good idea to see like how people would react to
how
it,
they
and you're
react.
like, what
and
the
it's
fuck
like
are
it's
you
like
thinking?
a teacher workshop day, and they tell them like, hey, we're gonna go through with like with police
this plan,
and they don't tell them that like they're gonna actually like be shooting off like blank rounds, and they'll be in the classrooms, boom boom, and it's like, what the fuck is going on?
Yes, everyone thinks
like there's teachers that like have gotten PTSD just from that.
Oh yeah, well it's also like, why would you do that? Like,
yeah,
it's just not smart.
Yeah, like I would rather
It's
like, and as weird as this sounds and is like like not very professional, I'd rather than go around with like a Nerf gun and just be like, hey, like you keeping or getting into the hallway this quick would have been the end of it. I don't know.
I think you just don't. I don't even. It's
I don't
not,
think you need guns.
I don't think it's the teacher's job to know that.
Yeah.
I think if you're like actually that serious about protection, like you just hire fucking security.
Yeah. And there's the other thing where they're like, teachers need guns. It's like, do you know how many teachers would have freaking shot a kid in my class? Like,
Well, like there's a lot of unprofessional teachers. Like,
yeah. Like we were talking about one yesterday.
yeah,
And
like if you can't like for every teacher that, I mean, it's a very far from few to whatever of like teachers that molest people.
mm-hmm.
Where it's like, if you do that, like, just because they're a teacher doesn't mean they're like a saint.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'm sure there's a murderer that was a teacher once, you know?
And like think about like all the I know it's not supposed to happen, but there was times where I was in a classroom by myself, you know what I mean? Like all it takes is one kid to go snooping around to find the gun in the classroom. And I just think there's too many variables with that it can go wrong.
Yeah, it's asking for problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why bring more guns into the school?
Yeah. I think you just hire security.
Yeah.
You have
someone that's trained
you already have
to do this.
exits, you already have whatever. I don't know. Not my job.
And I remember that too is there was another teacher on the ground floor who told us if there's ever something that happens, do not leave the classroom, no matter what. It's like that's not a good idea at all because at our school how it was once you get into one classroom, there's a door between each classroom.
Yeah.
So once you're in one, you're in that whole line down the hallway.
Yeah, I don't think they locked.
No, they didn't.
So but that's, I don't know. That's also a good, well, no, not all of them connect. No, they didn't all
I think it was
connect.
like every 3 classrooms connected.
Yeah, but it's not, they didn't all connect consistently.
No, I'm pretty sure it was literally every 3. I think that was like the fire code.
But yeah, what I'm saying it though is you couldn't get in the first one and travel through them to the last.
No, but you could go 3 and then get out, go to the next one, go 3,
but
get
that's,
out.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was 3. But
It doesn't
even
matter.
that, like, I don't know. Because it's all situational. Like,
I don't know. I'm not in it, so.
yeah, don't have to worry about it.
Nope, not my problem.
Oh, it's so scary.